So we're just about 1 week out from UFC 304, headlined by Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad 2, and not a lot of people are really excited for this fight. And I get it, neither of these guys are known for having super entertaining fight styles. Leon Edwards is coming off his fight with Colby Covington that many people consider one of his most boring fights to date, and Belal Muhammad is just Belal Muhammad. Everyone knows that Belal Muhammad is not exactly the most entertaining fighter in the world. However, I do believe that in the main event of UFC 304, Leon Edwards will KO Belal Muhammad in round 2, and I'll tell you why. But first, I want to talk about this fight a little bit and why I think it's being really overlooked. Sure, I know these guys aren't going to go out there and just trade bombs in the pocket and have an all-out war, but just look at the records of these two guys. The champ, Leon Edwards, has just 2 losses in his entire UFC career, with a UFC record of 14 wins, 2 losses, and the 1 no contest to Belal Muhammad. And since his loss to Kamaru Usman in December of 2015, Leon Edwards has won 12 straight fights, of course excluding the no contest with Belal Muhammad, and he's redeemed his loss to Kamaru Usman with a KO in their second fight and then a decision in their trilogy match in March of 2023. Then you look at the other half of the main event. Belal Muhammad has a UFC record of 14 wins and 3 losses, with the 1 no contest to Leon Edwards, of course. And since his loss to Jeff Neal in 2019, Belal Muhammad has won 9 fights in a row, ignoring the no contest with Leon Edwards. So we've got a fight between 2 guys with really long win streaks, with a combined UFC record of 28-5. That is insane. And I think when you've got 2 win streaks like this, 2 really long win streaks, like we're talking about a guy who hasn't lost since 2015 and a guy who hasn't lost since 2019, neither of these guys have lost in the 2020s. So I think you kind of have to be excited for a fight like that. Like, someone's long win streak is gonna be snapped. So I think this is an entertaining fight to look forward to just for that reason alone. Now, I'd be lying if I said that these two always put on entertaining fights. Like I said, we aren't going to see a war between these two just standing in the pocket and trading bombs. Belal Muhammad especially has a reputation among fans of having very boring fights. Just doesn't have a lot of power in his hands, and he isn't exactly a dominant submission specialist. 17 of Belal Muhammad's 23 wins have come by way of decision, with just 5 KO wins and 1 submission. I mean, just look at this from Belal Muhammad's point of view. We're talking about a guy who's 36, clearly not a guy the UFC cares too much about. He had to go on a 9-fight win streak to even get this title shot. So there's almost a 100% chance that this is his only chance at UFC gold. So I can't imagine, even though Belal Muhammad loves going to decisions, he is allergic to getting a finish. I can't imagine he would want to leave this in the hands of the judges for his only chance at a UFC championship. I think he's going to be more aggressive. I think he's going to be willing to take more risks to get a finish in this fight. I think he'll be a little bit more aggressive than we see him in his other fights. So why do I think Leon Edwards is going to KO Belal Muhammad? I mean, if you exclude the Usman head kick, which was, I'm not saying it's a fluke, but it was, like a last minute head kick KO. He hasn't gotten a KO win since 2018. If you go and rewatch that Belal Muhammad fight, Leon Edwards was the most aggressive we have ever seen him in recent memory. He was pushing the pace, he was sitting down on more shots, and he wasn't fighting his usual point fight style of fighting. I believe this comes down to 3 things. Number 1, Leon Edwards has nothing to fear on the feet with Belal Muhammad, meaning he's willing to take more risks in the striking since he doesn't have to worry too much about what's coming back his way. It's no secret that Belal Muhammad doesn't exactly have the most power in his hands. Number 2, I think Leon Edwards was going out there to make a statement. It was nearly a 2-year layoff for him with multiple canceled bouts in that time period, 3 of those fights being with Khamzat Chimaev that ultimately could never get booked for one reason or another. Fans have started to doubt Leon as a serious contender in the division, and with that time off, the doubt only rose amongst fans. So I think Leon was going out there more aggressive to make a statement to the fans that he was a serious threat in the division. And the last and main reason I think Leon Edwards will KO Belal Muhammad is Belal Muhammad has one big flaw on his fairly impressive record. And for that, you have to go all the way back to January 1st of 2019. Belal Muhammad took on Jeff Neal, and Jeff Neal absolutely battered Belal Muhammad for a dominant decision win. Now, this was a long time ago, and Belal Muhammad has certainly improved leaps and bounds since that fight. However, I think it just comes down to Belal struggling with the southpaw stance of Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal landed that left straight in his southpaw stance at will all night, dropping Belal Muhammad with it and hurting him multiple times. But what else did Jeff Neal find success with? His left high kick. Belal got caught with the left high kick multiple times, one leading to a knockdown. And Leon Edwards is the first southpaw striker that Belal Muhammad has faced since Jeff Neal in 2019. Now, Damian Maia is a southpaw, but Damian Maia is not exactly known for his striking. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. So the first real southpaw striker that Belal Muhammad is facing since Jeff Neal in 2019, it's Leon Edwards. And what did we see in the first Leon Edwards fight with Belal Muhammad? Leon Edwards landed that left high kick and wobbled Belal Muhammad bad in the first round. So I really think Belal Muhammad is going to struggle with the southpaw stance of Leon Edwards. I think the left straight's going to be there. I think the left high kick is very much there. I mean, if he can find it in the first fight, he can definitely find it in this fight. He's gotten so much more technical, so much sharper since that fight. So I think Belal Muhammad's going to come out here in round one a little more aggressive, throwing more volume, which is going to force Leon Edwards to be more active, because if Belal Muhammad is throwing volume, Leon Edwards is going to have to keep up with that volume if he's going to want to win his rounds. And I think with Belal Muhammad coming forward and pushing the pace on Leon Edwards, I think he's going to leave himself even more open to a sharp technical striker like Leon Edwards. And I believe Leon Edwards is going to land the more effective strikes in round one. He might land less strikes, like maybe Belal Muhammad has more total strikes landed, but Leon Edwards, you know, he landed the big powerful shots, maybe wobbles Belal Muhammad or cuts him or something like that. But I think Leon Edwards will take round one, and then I think round two, he will find the left high kick once again, drop Belal Muhammad, and finish him off with hammer fist for the round two TKO win at UFC 304. But even if this fight goes to a decision, I don't think it's going to be boring. I think this is going to be an entertaining fight. I really do. I think this fight's getting slept on bad, but let me know what y'all think. Do you think it's going to be boring? Are you excited for the fight? Do you think Leon's going to win? Do you think Belal's going to win? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to see what all of you have to say. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.